Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Tonight, inshallah, we're going to be talking about a very important verse that is connected to a lot of the discussions that we've had previously, and that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's statement, وَعَلَى الثَّلَاثَةِ الَّذِينَ خُلِّفُوا حَتَّى إِذَا ضَاقَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَرْضُ بِمَا رَحُبَتْ وَضَاقَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنفُسُهُمْ وَظَنُّوا أَنَّ لَا مَلْجَأَ مِنَ اللَّهِ إِلَّا إِلَيْهِ ثُمَّ تَابَ عَلَيْهِمْ لِيَتُوبُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ. And to the three men who stayed behind when the earth, for all its spaciousness, closed in around them, and when their very souls closed in around them, when they realized that the only refuge from Allah was with Him, He turned to them in mercy in order for them to return to Him. Allah is the ever knowing, is the ever forgiving, ever merciful. And this verse is something that I think is really important for us to point out, and it is the bravery of these three men. And if you look at the other verses that talk about bravery, and if you look at how it's versed and how it's stated, I understand that sometimes that this is in the face of the enemy, and this is very contextually and thematically what we associate bravery with. But over here, the bravery that these individuals showed was with themselves. And this is what I want to highlight. Because bravery in the face of the enemy, that's completely understandable. But the bravery that we have to show with ourselves is sometimes a little bit more difficult and a little bit more challenging to show. And in these verses, you had these individuals where everybody around them was lying, everybody around them was coming up with excuses, everybody was saying all types of different things, and they were seeing these people being released. They had to show honesty with themselves. And being honest with ourselves is one of the most challenging things that any of us can do. But being honest with ourselves, there's another term for it in Islam too, and this term is ikhlas. So when we want to be sincere, when we want to be honest with ourselves, this is a form and this is a type of bravery. Why? Because not everybody can do it. And showing that bravery and showing that honesty and showing that sincerity is one of the strongest points and the strongest characteristics that we can have as Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be strong. He wants us to be brave. He wants us to be able to put ourselves in difficult situations and uncomfortable situations for His sake, for the sake of truth, for the sake of honesty, for the sake of justice. And these individuals, that's exactly what they did. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dedicated an entire story about them, for them, as a legacy that they left behind for us to benefit from. And this is a legacy that is something that is inherently important and carried forward in our tradition and in our religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises these people. And it's very important for us to instill these same ideals within ourselves, within our families, and within our communities. That regardless of what is going on around us, it's important for us to be able to stand up against the grain. It's important for us to be able to stand up against the status quo. It's important for us to be able to challenge a lot of these ideas, things that we find wrong. Why do I allow myself to sit at a table where backbiting is happening? Why do I allow myself to sit at a table where people are being and acting racist? Why do I allow myself to sit at a table where people are being ridiculed? That is when my bravery needs to show. That is when I need to stand up. And that is when I really need to be honest with myself. Because it's real easy to be honest around friends. It's real easy to be honest around people who share my values. But it becomes really difficult to be honest when there are people who disagree with me. It becomes really challenging to be honest with those people who I differ with. It becomes really difficult to challenge when there's a group of people around me who don't agree with me. So I hope and pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us brave, makes us honest, and makes us sincere. I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow night, inshallah.